You should forest bathe. What is forest bathing? It's getting naked and getting rubbed down by people dressed as Forrest Gump. No, it's not. Forest bathing, that would be awesome. Forest bathing is going out into nature and immersing yourself in all its wonder as if you're seeing it for the first time. Don't know what I'm saying? Take a look at this video from CNN.
One hand on your belly, the other hand on your heart. So forest bathing comes from the word shinrin-yoku, which is a Japanese word. Now reach your arms up, and it means being in nature. In Japan, they have special medical forests where people can go be out in nature. You're coming into the forest with a conscious intention to slow down, to connect, to heal. It's all about moving slow, a lot slower than you expect. What do you think? Like peppery? And about engaging all your senses.
In our hospital, we actually prescribe nature. Studies have shown that within minutes of walking into a forest, your stress improves. Heart rate will come down, blood pressure will come down. Then over the course of an hour to an hour and a half, if you're walking through a natural setting, symptoms of depression or anxiety improve.
There it is.
I love this. I love
Why
this.
do you love it so much?
I love it so much because it's so true. It's true. Okay, look.
You're so pure-hearted.
No, I know, but here's the thing. I know you guys, some of you, Cenk included probably, watch that video and you see these crunchy granola hippies like rubbing up on trees and it seems so ridiculous, right?
Yes.
But it's so true. Okay, look, I'm only speaking from personal experience. There is nothing more therapeutic than being in nature and finally like taking in the beauty of this planet that we live on, right? You're not looking at your phone, you're not sucked into some Netflix show. You're like, I don't know, you just feel connected to the world and it's an amazing feeling. And so I'm really happy to see that people are using this method to help treat their depression because I think it's one of the most therapeutic things. I mean, I used it as a therapeutic method when I was going through depression.
Oh, you do forest bathing?
And here's the thing, I didn't refer to it as forest bathing.
Why
but you
not?
know,
It's
I went
an
to
amazing term.
I went to Joshua Tree and Joshua Tree National Park in California, and it was amazing. Recently, I went to Big Sur and Carmel. Beautiful, and it's the best thing that you can do.
Okay, now let me keep it real.
You're the worst.
I love
I just
all right.
Yeah, I'm a big, strong man.
Okay.
No, I don't like nature.
Okay, please. I don't feel that a forest bather would prejudge me like that. Okay, so let me tell you what I think. All right. So first of all, I of course thought that when I first read the title, that they were going out in the forest and be like, okay, and like finding a pond. I was like, I'm not going to do that. That's ridiculous. We call them showers, and when they're inside our house.
But have you ever bathed in just like an open shower out in nature?
Like a pool, pond, a pool and a pond. Pond would be good for you. The natural springs.
Have I gone into a natural body of water? Yes.
Yeah. And then afterwards, you have to take a shower.
Yes, that's right.
You do. Yes.
Pond water. Oh.
So one of these folks, Razani, says that who founded the Center for Nature and Health, says that they offer medical care in nature. No, thank you. I would like my medical care in a hospital. Okay, so hold on. So I'm not buying that. And then one more here. They say that as part of this, that you should. They're in nature. They're observing. God bless. Good. Okay. And they said you should even silently ask the tree a question to see what thoughts it might spark. I'm not asking any trees any questions. That's just not going to happen. I'm not going to be like, now next on TYT interviews, a tree. Okay.
No, I know. But here's the thing. First of all, I mean, I can totally see someone on some sort of psychedelic substance.
And if you want to go to San Francisco in a park.
Yeah, but look, I don't think that that's representative of what most of these people
what
do.
most of the forest bathing community does. I agree with you.
I don't even think the forest bathing community refers to itself as the forest bathing community. People go out to nature to unplug and improve their mental health.
They call themselves the Forest Bathing Club of San Francisco, actually.
Yeah, so they actually literally do. And then a guy named Lazarus who felt rejuvenated by this, appropriately so, said that when he did talk to the tree talked back and said, "We got your back."
You're the worst. You're the worst because you're like cherry picking people that you wanna.
Which you shouldn't do
judge.
because it hurts the tree.
All right, so now my real opinion. So those are all my real opinion too, and I'm amused by the extremists in the forest bathing community. But overall, and they've got a goofy name, but overall, should you go enjoy nature? Of course you should. And so, like, I find this story to be both hilarious and obvious at the same time. So we now spend 93% of our time indoors.
Yes.
And did we spend the overwhelming majority of our time as a species outdoors? Of course we did. We were born outdoors, we lived outdoors. Only in the last millennium did we even have shelter in the last couple of centuries when we created these giant cities where we all live indoors most of the time? Should you go out and look at trees and walk around in nature? Of course you should. Is that gonna make you feel better generally? Yeah, it's in our DNA. I'm sure it'll make you feel better. It makes me feel better.
Okay, so
But then we spend it indoors, caves. We're cavemen. We're in caves. Caves are inside.
But the caves were exaggerated. There wasn't that many caves around.
News of my cave dwelling is greatly exaggerated.
That's right.
Let's talk a little bit about vitamins because it's important, okay?
Yes, that's right.
So there's a big issue with Americans lacking vitamin D.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of Americans are vitamin D deficient. And so every year I go in for my physical, they do the blood test, everything's great except vitamin D. You're vitamin D deficient. Please take the supplements. But why do you think we're vitamin D deficient? Because we're constantly in the office. Like, is it summer? Is it winter? Is it fall? Who cares? We're not gonna know because we're in an office all day.
I talked to a doctor who said that it's because you put too much sunscreen on.
Really?
I live in Manhattan Beach, California, and she's like, everyone here is Manhattan Beach. Everyone here is vitamin D deficient. I said, why? Everyone's outside all the time. And she's like, yeah, it's the sunscreen.
Yeah, see, that's I have an
but you're right, 93% inside, yes. But it's interesting because that I think is an interesting discussion over like sunscreen or melanoma.
Yeah.
And vitamin D or skin cancer.
And
so there's a
you can take
balance, but
supplements
still.
for vitamin D. Obviously protect your skin. But look, the heart of the story is spend some time in nature because it goes further than your mental health. It gives you this appreciation for this planet that I don't think you'll have if you don't spend time in our national parks and places like that.
Well, look, I'm gonna go way further.
Yeah.
Hold, you're gonna see I'm the original forest baby.
Oh, okay. Do you, boo?
So first of all, I'm like a grandma. I'm obsessed with scenery.
Love it.
I will drive hours out of my way to see a beach or woods, anything that looks great, right? And is part of nature, and I'll bask in it. So and some of these folks are like, oh my God, in 10 years I hadn't looked at the trees. I go outside and on a weekend I will walk around my neighborhood and I will literally pause in like an awkward kind of weird way for like a couple of minutes and enjoy how the sun is shining off the tree.
Yeah, trees are amazing.
Was that old school? You're like, I'm the best at enjoying stuff.
Yeah, that's
one of the things.
That's right. We talked about it in a previous episode of Old School. You should check that out. Become a member at tytnetwork.com/join. Anyway, and I once hugged a tree.
Oh my God.
I was in a jovial mood. I was much younger, and back then I was a Republican, so it wasn't even in my liberal days or progressive days.
To be fair, a lot of Republicans do appreciate nature. I wish they would want to protect it, but they want.
And sometimes they do. They did some conservation and fought back against the Trump administration wanting to privatize public lands. And they kicked Jason Chaffetz's ass and partly chased him out of Congress. So you conservatives who did that, bless your hearts, right? So, and I remember I was in a particularly jovial mood in Freehold, and it was a lovely day. And I was like, okay, this is super ridiculous and silly, but I'm gonna hug this tree, okay? And I was kind of like winking at myself, right? But yeah, so guys, you should, to the best of your abilities, and we all have crazy schedules, and you got kids, you got work, and I understand all that. But if you can, try to get out there and walk around for 15 minutes. It's great.
You're gonna love it, and you're gonna love it.
San Francisco, where this happens, there is an area called the Presidio, which has like been undeveloped since the Spanish owned, California, and it is a change completely. Like the air changes, the smells change, just as you cross from the street the Presidio's on into the Presidio. It's like a definite I don't know, it's like an airlock. You just kind of walk through it and it's a completely different feeling and it helps.
You know what, that's funny you say that. And maybe we'll talk more about this in the postgame, but I was in the Presidio recently, about maybe a month ago, and I had to do a whole bunch of business calls. I was at a conference, and I was like, who needs to be inside? I stepped outside, and I just kept walking around, and it was gorgeous, and it was a great day outside.
Forest bather.
Forest bather. It's a good compromise because there's also like the Walt Disney Family Museum right there. It's just this beautiful area. It's where LucasArts. Love it.
Look, I was the original forest bather before they put a really ridiculous name on it.
You were lathering up day and night.
Yeah, I'd go in the forest. I was like, oh, here's some leaves. Oh yeah, get a branch in there. Anyway, yes, go enjoy nature. Duh. If you like this video, you probably like independent media. The best way to support independent media, become a member of the Young Turks. tytnetwork.com/join.